the value, then I write the gallery page. You can actually provide a space in between them. It's not a problem, but it's my style of writing this. You can do just as that, providing a space. Then I write gallery. Then the final one is contact page. Then I write contact. So we are done right now. And if we try to take off this comment, let's save this part. Then again, you see that from the index values now, the compiler is printing out, it's reading your code, and it's then printing out your indexes as words, as strings. So it's replacing those numbers by the values you have provided by yourself. So right now, as you can guess, we can just use we can remove this one from here, from the square brackets. Then inside this we can write home page. I guess there is a problem. Let me take this off. Okay. This should work right now. Okay, so here we go. Let's save this. And here it's printing out your value. So let me just comment that part out. Okay, let's refresh this. Now it's printing out your value of home. Now in here, what we have done, we have provided a key value pair. So a key value pair is essentially something like you provide a key and you provide a value. Before, what we have seen is that we have provided the value and the compiler didn't know what to provide as the key, so it provided numeric values from 0 to something. This is from 0 to 3. So it started as a numeric value because we, as the programmer, didn't tell the compiler that you need to use strings to instead of numbers. So because we didn't tell it, it used numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3 to inside this key part. So it used something like this. So it provided like this. So I think you get the idea. So it wrote, because we didn't tell what to provide for the key, it went for using numeric values like 0, 1, 2, 3 instead of strings that we have provided right now. So you might be confused what a string is. A string is essentially something that's contained inside 2 double quotation marks. So if you look carefully in here, this is actually a string, this is actually another string. You can write whole sentences or whole paragraphs in any language from this string, and the compiler will take whatever you write in that string and it will print out exactly whatever you type inside those 2 double quotation marks. So if I just go on write, if I just write like something, this is the website's home page, it will exactly print out as if it will exactly print out all the values. It will print out this entire string on your web page. So let us see that. Let's save this. Let's refresh the page. So here you go. It's printing out exactly as we have provided inside the double quotation marks. So that's actually a string, and this is a key. So each of these values is represented by a key. So if you want to print out a value inside your list, you just call the key. So if you do not provide a key by yourself, your compiler or your computer, actually it's not a computer, but your compiler is something like it interprets, it takes your code, it reads that code, and because your computer don't understand anything other than 0 and 1, it translates that code, the code that we are writing right now, translate that code into a binary format, which the computer then understands. So your compiler will take this code, it will take this code and it will convert all of this statements, all of these strings, all of these variables into binary format, which our computer will then understand. Otherwise, our computer won't understand what we're writing right now. So as I was talking about this key and value, if you do not provide a key by yourself, then your compiler will assign a key or a numeric key to each of your values. So if you want to access the value inside a specific key, you just write that value, you just write that key inside the curly braces and enclosed in double quotation marks, like this. First you write the array's name, then followed by the square brackets, then you write the key's name that you want to access, enclosed in double quotation mark, and your compiler will look into that key. It will look into this key inside this array. It will first read that this is an array, so it will enter this array, and then it will look for the key that has the name of home page. When it finds this specific key, then it will take the value, it will read this value, and it will take the value and replace this part with the value of home, with the value that we have provided in here. So we have provided home, this is the website's home page. So we echo this out on our web page as a value being printed on the web browser. So that was about creating arrays. Now the next thing that we need to learn about, there are a few more stuff. It's like the operators, like the logical operators, then we have the assignment operator, then we have the compound operators. There are several types of then you also have the comparison operators. So we'll be learning about that. So to understand what a loop is, we'll be discussing about the loop. So to understand what a loop is, we need to understand how these logical operators, to understand how, not the logical, the comparison operators work. To understand how the conditional statements work, we need to understand the logical operators along with the comparison operators. So a conditional statement is something like, if this happens, then do this. If it does not happen, then do something else. So it's like taking a decision. You are making your program smarter to give it to make. You're actually enabling it to make decisions by itself. So inside a conditional, you need to provide some sort of condition. So if this condition is true, your program will read something like this. If your condition is true, then it will do that part. But if your condition is not true, if the condition is false, it will do something else if you define that inside your program. So this are the you can provide several parts of decision making inside your program. So the decision making is done with conditionals.